on the show. This is another Friday. Every Friday like this by 5:30 p.m. West African time, I come on live like this in the High Performance Live in the High Performance community. And let me just start by saying welcome. If this is your first time joining me on this live show, just start by saying welcome. This is High Performance Live, where we talk about the tools, tips, strategies, and skills to help you and I be those high performers that God has created us to be it in your career, be it in your business, be it in your relationship, be it in what your finances, be it in any aspect of your life. This is that show where we do a deep dive in to make sure that we are on course towards achieving those very important goals, those goals that really matter to us. So welcome, it's another Friday session. If this is not your first time, let me also start saying welcome. It's great to have you here again. Thank you so much for joining. You know how we do it, right? Every time we come on High Performance Live like this, we always do three things, first of all, which is our high performance review of the week. We're looking at how our week has been and strategizing and planning for the week ahead. So just very quickly, what are you grateful for this week? What is the lesson that you are learning this week, and what are you looking forward to in the upcoming week? That's how we usually have our high performance review. So I'll go first. What I'm grateful for another opportunity to be here on live with you, another Friday evening like this. What the lesson that I'm learning is the importance of designing your rich career, which is what I'm going to be talking about in a couple of minutes. So you want to hang around for that. It's going to be a very insightful time. And then what I'm looking forward to in the upcoming week is the presentation of communication skills bootcamp that I've been talking about for a while. You want to take your business to a whole new level, you want to take your career to a whole new level. It boils down to your capacity, your ability to be able to present and communicate effectively. And this is why first week of March, I'm having a 2-day, special 2-day bootcamp where I open up the kimono and show you how to master these two very, very important skills. I've been talking about it for a while. You can send me a DM on Instagram with the words mastery at Coyote Colade on Instagram with the word mastery. It's the same handle as here on YouTube with the word mastery so that I can send you the details to be part of that very, very powerful bootcamp where learn how to master these two very important skills, presentation and communication. So that's my own high performance review for the week. What's yours? How was your own week? I hope you had a productive week. I hope you had a profitable week. I hope you had a very purposeful week. So type it right there in the comments there. I want to know from you, what are you grateful for this week? What is that thing that you are grateful for this week? I really want to know. What is the lesson that you're learning? This is the things that make us high performers, really. The things that we're grateful for, the lessons that we are learning, and that we are integrating and incorporating those things into our lives. Because I know there are so many things that might have happened to you over the course of the week, but the thing that makes us high performers, the thing that makes us high achievers, is that we are not incorporating that gratitude. We are not incorporating the lessons into our lives. So, and that's why you have the opportunity here every time we come on every Friday evening like this to be able to incorporate those things into our lives. And that's why I ask you that the least you can do is to just type it right there in the comments. Let me know, what are you grateful for this week? What is that lesson that you learned this week? And then what's your plan for the upcoming week? We are going into the weekend. I know that you already have things that you have planned perhaps for the weekend and for the new week that is coming. This next week is going to be a few more days, and we're going to be ending the month of February and starting a new month, the month of March. I know that you have things that you want to achieve. I know that you have goals, you have targets that you want to meet. Hi, Alif. Thank you so much for sharing, for typing there. Hello, great to have you here. Welcome. So I know that you have things that you want to achieve. So let me know, what are the things that you're working on. Let's do a deep dive, work on them together, and see that we make progress on our journey as high performers. So I said I was very quickly today about how do you design your rich career? How do you designing your rich career? And you know how we do it, right? Every time I come on live like this, I always want to start with a movie quote or a TV series quote, or maybe a quote from a book. So today I'm going to be talking about my favorite sci-fi movie of all time, and that's the movie Matrix. If you're a Matrix fan, please just type yes in the comment section and say yes, I'm a Matrix fan. I love the Matrix movies to bits. I was reminded about how much I love the Matrix movies. I think that was last week, Saturday to be precise. My wife and I, we went on our morning walk. I went on my own personal run. I had gone running, and so I came back so that we could now walk together, doing our morning walk, and we're talking together. And somehow, we started talking about Matrix, and for the entire duration of our morning walk, almost 30 minutes, I was just going on and on about the movie Matrix. How many people don't know how powerful that movie is. That movie is so powerful. It blessed me so much. And it was after 30 minutes I realized that what's happening? For the past 30 minutes, you've been talking so passionately about a movie after you had just done a 40-minute run not too long ago. And I was wondering, where did the energy come from? And it just tells how much I really, really love the Matrix movies. They are just so beautiful. And for me, apart from, yes, the great CGI and beautiful fight sequences, for me, it's the quotes. Those quotes are so powerful. Quotes like "there is no spoon," quotes like "I know kung fu," quotes like "do you think that's air that you are breathing now?" When Morpheus was talking to Neo when they were fighting, in the they were doing the fight simulation. But as it relates to designing your rich career, the quote that I will pick today is the quote where I think it was Morpheus that was also talking to Neo, and he says that one thing that you realize, as I have, is that there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. I know for me, it's so powerful that he says that quote, because really that's what it is about life, right? Many times what happens is that as it relates to our living our lives, those goals that we want to achieve, those things that we desire, you discover that many times there is always that place where, oh, we say we want this thing, but our actions are saying something different. So we say, okay, I want this thing, I want a rich career, I want a rich life, but at the end of the day, our actions are saying a totally different thing. And so for me, that's just it, that we need to get to that place as high performers. And that's why we are high performers. And that's why we're on High Performance Live this evening, to talk to ourselves and to remind ourselves that as high performers, we do not only just talk the talk, we walk the walk. And as it relates to designing a rich career, this thing is so important, because our work takes up one third, nothing less than one third of our lives. And so if we are going to live rich and fulfilling lives, then it's very, very important that we look at this aspect of our careers. We look at this particular aspect of our work. We can't bury our head in the sand and say, okay, you know what? I will just focus on every other thing outside work and enjoy myself outside work, and just let that thing, let work and career handle itself. No, we have to look at it, especially in this time where there is so much change happening. There is so much uncertainty going on in the world. Just before I came on live here on YouTube, I was on my laptop and I just saw this news item just flash briefly on the screen, and it was an interview that Tyler Perry did, the movie producer Tyler Perry did, and he was talking about how AI is going to be a threat to jobs in the entertainment industry. I know for me, it's just so powerful that there is a lot of disruption going on, a lot of uncertainty going on, a lot of challenges going on, both in terms of what is happening in the economy, the things that are happening in technology, in terms of technology that, when it comes to work and career, for a lot of us, for a lot of people, there's just that fear. There's just that, oh, what is the way out? What is the next step that I'm going to take? How do I make the most of my career with everything that is happening around? And that's why I believe that this our conversation is so important this evening. That what are the next steps that we need to take? What do we need to focus on if we are going to make the most of our career? That's what we're talking about today. And I'll just say that it comes back to that place where And we can't afford to be random anymore. Just like I said, we can't afford to bury our head in the sand. We need to be intentional. We need to be strategic. We need to say that, look, we can't wait and wish to have that rich career that we want. We have to be proactive. We have to do something about it, and we have to do something about it now. So how do you design enough talk, right? How do you do it? You say, okay, please tell us, what do I need to focus on? What are those areas that I need to focus on to design my own rich career in 2024? And I'll say that there are four areas that you need to focus on if you are going to have a rich and a fulfilling career in the year 2024. And the number one area that you need to focus on is in the area of your relationships. The area of relationships. We're talking about a rich career, right? So rich, R-I-C-H. The first R there, the R there stands for relationships. If we are going to have a rich and a fulfilling career, we need to pay attention to the quality of our relationships. When right people enter your life, right things start happening. When the wrong people exit your life, the wrong things stop happening. And it applies to every aspect of your life, including your relationships. So if you and I are going to take our career, to a whole new level, then it comes back, the foundation. The foundation is the quality of the relationships that we cultivate, the quality of the relationships that we keep. Now, when I talk about relationships, yes, it's great to have a good working relationship with your boss and with your colleagues in the office. But where we're really going to is that you have a circle of trust that gives you access to information about trends and changes and opportunities that are happening in your industry. That's what we're talking about, really. Do you have that circle that gives you information about opportunities that are unadvertised, that you can't see, very rare and special opportunities? Do you have that circle? Do you have that circle around you? We're not talking about just, people that, you just have that water cooler moment with them, and you guys are always just talking about, the traffic, the weather, this and that, complain about one thing or the other. But what we're talking about is that other people that challenge you to grow in your career, challenge you to grow in your own industry. That's what we're talking about. We need to be proactive now to start looking for those people. Do you have a mentor? You knew I was going there. That do you have a mentor in your career and in your industry? It's very, very important. And that's the only way that we can have a rich career, because the reason why we're coming back to that thing of having a mentor, of having a circle of trust, is because one thing about a mentor is that a mentor shortens the gap between you and your future, shortens the gap between you and that rich career that you desire to have. That rich career that you desire to have, that career that is rich, that is fulfilling, that is energizing and purposeful for you. That's why you need a mentor. It's so important. It shortens the distance between you and your career, because guess what? He has walked the path before. He knows where the pitfalls are. He knows the mistakes that he has made, and he can give you the right advice to help you avoid those similar mistakes. Number two reason why you need a mentor is because a mentor many times senses your future even before you do. He senses your rich career before you do. So many times there's this thing about how we have come across people who believe in us more than even that we believe in ourselves. That's what a mentor does. He sees those opportunities that you can tap into, opportunities that on a very good day you will shrink away from. And he says, see, I know that you can do this thing. Dare to go for it. He senses your future even many times before you do. And then the third reason why you need a mentor is because a mentor shows you your future, shows you your rich career. It is one thing to say, oh, I believe I can have a rich career. I want to have a rich career. But it's another thing to actually see somebody who is walking the path. And that's why you need a mentor. Somebody who is actually living your dream. Because there are so many things that can be taught, but there are only a few things that can be caught. And one of them is actually having a rich career. You can't, no matter how I say it here, yes, it's great. We're having this live session together right here on YouTube, talking about the power and the importance of having a rich career. But the truth about it is that a rich career cannot be taught. A rich career can only be caught. And that's why you need that mentor, somebody that is living in the reality of your dream, living in the reality of that rich career that you want, who, when you see it now, it becomes more easy to believe. It becomes more easy to believe. And trust me, before you know it, all the attributes, all the character traits, the mindset, the skills, and everything that your mentor embodies, somehow, all those things begin to rub off on you. And all of a sudden, you look at where you used to be and you look at where you are, and you see that transformation that has happened in your life. This is why relationships are so important, a vital key, the pivotal, the main foundation to having a rich career. The second thing there, which is I, there stands for income. In designing a rich career, you need to come to that place where you pay attention to your income. Money matters. Money is important. Paying attention to your income is a very, very important aspect you need to pay attention to if you are going to have a very rich career. And let me just say that, I was just thinking about it some days ago. My wife and I were having the conversation. I was saying, it's very interesting that I remember growing up when Coke, that's Coca-Cola now, increased the price. That's in my own country, Nigeria, increased the price of a bottle of Coke. I can't remember what it was then. I think maybe it was like 5 naira or 6 naira. You can imagine. So that's several years ago. Don't mind me, I'm very young. Several years ago, they increased the price. Yes, thank you so much, Rahila, for sharing that. They increased the price of Coke, I think from like 5 or 6 naira, and they increased it to 12 naira then. And it was such a big leap of increasing the price. I think 12 naira now. I was trying to do the maths. I think yesterday or something. 12 naira to the American dollar. The exchange rate today is like 0.00 something like $0.0008. You can imagine. But that's what it was then. 12 naira. And I remember then, as a young child, I was riding in the car with my dad and his friend, and they were talking. And having adult talk, and you as a child, your ears are just open, you are paying attention. And I remember my dad and my friends saying that, now that Coke has become 12 naira, nobody will ever buy Coke or drink Coke ever. Trust me, the following week, my dad was the first person I saw buying Coke and drinking Coke. And I was like, dude, what's happening? So you said nobody's going to buy Coke anymore. How come you are drinking it? But for me, the powerful lesson is that no matter the things that are happening in the economy, right, no matter how much the prices of goods and services become, there will always be people who will buy. Yes, Rayla, you're laughing. There will always be people that will buy, no matter how expensive gasoline, fuel becomes today. There will always be people that will buy. That's just the truth. And for me, it's coming back to that place where you are able to say to yourself that there are people who have lived their life, trust me, in such a way that while the increase in prices of goods and services are coming as a shock and as a surprise to many people, but the truth about it is not to everybody. There are some people that have lived their life for years, anticipating these kind of changes that we're experiencing right now. This kind of very radical changes in the price of goods and services. Many of them have been living their lives like that, accounting for such changes that could happen, doing their financial plans around in preparation for such changes. And so for me, you get to realize that there is a limit to how much you can cut back on your spending, but there is no limit to how much you can earn. And so we need to remind ourselves that a rich career, that it didn't say RE as in relationship and expenses, it said relationship and income. So there is so much you can do, paying attention to the expenses, paying attention to the price of goods and services. My question to you is that all you are focused on, paying attention to the prices of goods and services are increasing every day and how your account balance is getting lower? Oh, thank you so much, Ali, for that. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Is that what you're paying attention to? Just how prices are increasing every day and how your account balance is going down? Or are you looking at, okay, how can I get more into this account? How can I increase my income? How can I strategically position myself to earn more? There is a limit to how much you can keep focusing on the red, everything that is going out from your account, but there is no limit to how much you can focus on the green and the blue. Yeah, depending on your bank, your own might be green, your own might be blue, on how much that comes into your account. And so for me, that's just the thing that, we need to change our perspective, right? I know it's so easy, it's so common with social, to be talking about, oh, how the price of this has become this, the price of this particular service was this before, just some months ago, now it is this. Oh, and then, we have that communal effect where we can complain and whine to each other and everything. But there is a limit to how far that will take us. If we are going to have a rich career, it's coming back to that place where we say, there is a limit to how much I can cut back. There's a limit to how much I can cut back on my expenses, but there is no limit to how much I can earn. There is no limit to how much income I can gain. And so that's just the thing that we need to focus our attention to, the gaining aspect. And that's why relationships are, again, so important, because then you now come into a circle of people who this is the way they think. While every other person is telling you, reduce the size of your dreams because times are hard, these other people are telling you that this is the time for you to dream bigger because times are hard. They are not denying the fact that these are challenging times that we are in, but they are saying that reducing the size of your dream is not the best approach to these very challenging situations that we are facing. If we are going to thrive in this time, then we need to start thinking bigger. We need to start dreaming bigger. And that's why it's so important. Do you have such people around you who challenge you? Not just the people who you always, we complain about this, complain about that, but the people who are challenging you to actually dream bigger, challenging you to think bigger. And that's why I'm always so glad for for the high performance community, right? Where we always get this opportunity to talk to ourselves. Because I know that it's very common around you to be hearing all those voices telling you, oh, telling you about all the woes and all the negative things that are happening. But it's also important that you have that community that reminds you of the possibilities, that reminds you of the opportunities, and to remind you that this is the greatest time to have a rich career, because the problems there are proof of the opportunities. And so that's what it is. The next thing is C, and C there stands for confidence. So we've said relationships, we said income, we're talking about designing your rich career, and the next thing is confidence. Now, what I'll quickly say about confidence is that, do you feel confident in your career? Do you feel confident in your current job? Do you feel confident in your current industry? And one thing I'll quickly say is that, yes, there's this whole thing of chasing certifications, of chasing qualifications. One thing I'll quickly say to you is that confidence doesn't come from certifications. That's just the truth. Confidence doesn't come from certifications. The people who have all the certifications and all the qualifications in the world will still tell you that sometimes they still get to some certain places and they still struggle with their confidence. It's great to have the certification, it's great to have the qualifications, but the main thing that brings confidence is your willingness to dare those things that are scary to you, your willingness to challenge yourself. Because confidence is all about your belief in your ability to figure things out. And so if it's about the fact that you believe you can figure things out, is the fact that at the moment, it looks like you don't know how to do it. You don't know how to do it. But you believe that somehow you will eventually figure it out. That's how confidence comes. It's not by chasing all the certifications. You can get over 10 certifications and nothing, the needle of your confidence will not move if you are not actually daring things that scare you. If you are not actually daring things that cause you to stretch and cause you to grow. And so that's the thing, that in your industry, in that your career right now, are you just staying in your safe place, just doing the things that you are comfortable with, that you are okay with, let's just go through the motions and just call it a day and go back home? Or are you daring to push the envelope? Are you daring to push the envelope? Are you daring to challenge yourself? This is why relationships, again, are very important, because trust me, I can tell you, I've been there. I know what it means, to do certain things and to go to my mentor and to show him and say, oh, this is the thing I have done, and expect him to pat me on the back, and then he takes it and not literally, now figuratively trashes it, everything that I have done, that I have spent hours working on, and to tell me that, no, you know what, do this and do this and do this. And the thing that he tells me to do are things I have never done before. Are things I have never done before. And my initial reaction will be to run away. But my own challenge to you is that those things that scare you, don't run away from them. Confront them. Those things that scare you in that your career, in your industry, don't run away from them. Confront them. In the process of confronting them, that's how confidence comes, and that's how you build and design your rich career. The final thing is hours. So we've talked about relationships, income, confidence, and hours. In designing a rich career, you need to pay attention to the hours. Has this thing ever happened to you that you went on leave or you went on leave off work, or you went on a vacation, it was your leave period from work, and then you returned back to work, and the interesting thing is that you didn't feel rested. In fact, it looked like you even felt more tired than before you went on leave. And if it has ever happened to you, just type yes in the comment section. And the reason why that, I know, because it has happened to me, the reason why that is because many times we feel that what energizes us, thank you so much, Rayla, for sharing that. What energizes us is the amount of free time we have off work, the amount of free time we have to rest, the amount of free time we have off work. That's what makes life fulfilling, and that's what enriches our lives. But that's not true. It's not the amount of free time you have off work that makes life rich and fulfilling. Is the amount of meaning you put into your time that actually makes life rich and fulfilling. So while many people are, so focused on having the time of their lives, like I like to say, we want to I want to have the time of my life. I think there's a very popular song that my wife and I love by Neo and is it Pitbull? So I think it's like a New Year song. I want to have the time of my life. It's a beautiful song. I can't remember how it's sung at the moment. And so, the many times, that's what we're just passionate about. I want to have the time of my life. I want to have the time of my life. But the truth about it is that what makes a rich career is about adding more life into your time. It's not about having the time of your life. It's about adding more life into your time. And that's why hours are so important, that in designing a rich career, we need to pay attention to the hours. How are you spending your time? How are you spending your time? It's the work is not the problem. Your attitude to the work is the problem. Is what we need to talk about. Is what we need to confront. And I know you don't like to hear that, because you are very hardworking. Yes, I know the fact that you're on this live session is proof that you're a hardworking person. I'm a hard worker too. Many people too know me as a hard worker. But right now, I'm in that season of my life where I'm doing a reevaluation and saying that, yes, it's great, Kayode, that everybody around you commends you and pats you on the back about how hardworking you are. But the truth about it is that you can still improve on your attitude to this work. You still improve on your attitude to this work. I know, yes, you are hardworking, but it's not about every other thing anybody is saying. It's about what is going on in your heart. You know deep down inside you that you can still work on your attitude to this thing. And so it's so important that if we're going to have a rich career, it's coming back to that place that we say, oh, what is my attitude to my work? Am I bringing my full presence? Am I bringing my full self to this work that I'm doing? Because here's the thing, a rich career is a career that you are passionate about, is a career that you find meaningful. But the only way you are going to find a career that you are passionate about and that you find meaningful is by bringing passion and meaning to what you do at the moment. Is by bringing passion and meaning to what you do at the moment. If you can't be happy where you are right now, with all the conditions not perfect, with everything, just less than ideal, trust me, you will not be happy when you get into the ideal situation. Let's be sincere with ourselves. Let's talk to ourselves right now. Oh yes, awesome, Alif. That's awesome. Well done. You're welcome. And that's just the thing, that you won't, if you can't be happy where you are right now, where the conditions are less than ideal, you won't be happy when you get to that place, that El Dorado that you are imagining, where the conditions are ideal. And so we don't have any excuse. Yes, you might say, oh, my boss is so difficult. These my colleagues are giving me headache and all that. But the truth about it is that nobody can give you headache. Nobody can frustrate you without your permission. That's the thing. Nobody can frustrate you without your permission. And so right now where we are, we have that opportunity where we can still bring life into our time. Who are the people you are spending time with? Yes, your boss and your colleagues may be difficult and you might have a challenge working with them right now, but there is still that opportunity where you can identify one person, two people who, even if it's just a few minutes during your work time, it can even be virtual. It doesn't have to be in person, where you spend time with them and that re-energizes you. That re-energizes you. The second thing I would say is, what are you spending your time on? What are you spending your time on in your job and in your career? Are you just doing busy, random work, or are you doing work that actually moves the needle of your career? It's very, very important. And then the final thing I would say is that, where do you actually work? Where do you actually work? Your workspace, is it optimized for you to be productive? Is it optimized for you to be productive? Do you have the opportunity to actually work from the workspace at the office, or do you have the opportunity to work from home? Either way, are you optimizing your workspace so that you can be productive and so that you can be efficient? It's very, very important. It's about putting more life into that time, putting more passion, putting more meaning. It's about bringing the joy. You can't wait. Look, the work is innocent. You can't wait for the job to make you happy. You have to bring your joy. You have to bring your enthusiasm to that work again. You have to bring your joy and bring your enthusiasm to that work again. That's how the opportunities, the new opportunities, the new doors that you desire, that's how they are going to open. That's how they are going to open, because trust me, I know you are a high performer. So if right now you are wrestling within you that you are more than this level, you are more than this place, this particular workplace that you are in right now, trust me, I feel it. Pay attention to that feeling that you have in your heart. It's proof that you are actually, there is something more, that you actually have more to give. But what I'm trying to say is that the opportunities for you to give that more will only open if you are willing to improve your attitude where you are right now, to take note of how you are spending your time, how you are spending your hours in that your current job, in that your career, and to make sure that you are doing all the things that you do in a very meaningful way. And so that's it. How you design your rich career, relationships, the quality of the relationships that you keep, paying attention. Remember, your income is very important. Money matters. Money gives you options. The more income you can generate, the more you can save, the more you can invest, and the more that you can splurge on the things that you love. So your income matters to designing your rich career. Number three thing is confidence. Do you feel confident? Are you working on your confidence? Are you daring those things that causes you to stretch and to grow? That at the end of the day, you can beat your chest and say, I am the right man for this job. And not only do you know you are the right person for the job, but every other person around, they might beef you. That's what it is. They might beef you. They might not like your guts, but they can't deny the fact that you are the right person for that job. And then finally, the hours. How are you spending your time? Are you making most of your time? Are you always wishing that, oh, you can't wait to get off work so that you can go and enjoy yourself after 5 p.m.? Or are you saying that, how can I bring more life and meaning to my 9 to 5? How can I bring more life and meaning? How can I bring more passion? How can I bring more life to this time that I'm even spending on my job? And just a very quick word to just end this. I was listening to a podcast recently, and the person that was talking about this lady who she's a stay-home mom, and in her kitchen, right over her kitchen sink, is a sign that says, divine tasks performed here. The only divine tasks performed here. I know for me it's so powerful. That's over the kitchen sink where she's washing dishes, where meal prepping and all that. It says divine tasks performed here. My final charge to you is that um, it's not only people who wear a collar or who wear a robe or who wear a special garb or attire that are doing God's work. That's just my final message to you. You need to remember that right there where you are, that work that you are doing God's work. You are doing God's work right there in that office. Yes, that thing that you do, you are actually doing God's work. You might not wear a collar, you might not wear a robe or any special garb that says you are a man of God or you are a prophet or you are imam, you are priest or pastor, but you do God's work. You do God's work right there with your t-shirt and jeans. You are doing God's work. Your work is God's work, and God's work is your work. You need to always remember that. And what that simply means is that any problem that you have in your career, in your job, in your business, God is concerned about it. God is concerned about it because so that we don't so that I'm not flippant. I know that you might be in that place where you are feeling really, really challenged in your job. Maybe right now you are even in the place of transition, you are in the place of changing jobs, or maybe you are even in the place of even changing careers. And right now so many things look so uncertain, so many things just look unclear, and you are really, really concerned. One thing I just want to encourage you is that God sees your heart. He's concerned about the things that concern you. Your problems are his problems. He wants you to be happy. He also wants you to have a rich career. You need to always remember that you are not alone on this journey. Yes, I might just come and talk to you for a few minutes and then we don't see each other again. And then it's like you are back, you are alone again with the challenges you are facing in that job and in that career. But what I want to say to you is that please always remember you are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. He's right there with you. His desire is that you have a rich and a fulfilling career, a career that you are passionate about and that you find meaningful. He wants that for you. And when you remember that, it helps, right? It helps to just remind yourself that just be at peace. Don't lose your cool. Don't be worried. Don't be agitated. He's got you. He's got you. I remember listening to Victoria Austin a little while back, and she was just talking about how your work is God is your work is your boat. And so that one thing that you need to do is that you and I need to learn to give our boats to God. If you give your boat to God, if you give your work to God, He will keep you afloat. And for me, I found that's so powerful. He says, "Give your boat to God, and He will keep you afloat." And so that's just the thing we need to remind ourselves about that, especially in this time, just like we said, of so much uncertainty, in the economy, in the technology space, and all that. We're wondering, how am I going to survive? Am I going to lose my job? What's the next career step I need to take? There's all those things going on in your head. Just remember, give your boat to God, and He will keep you afloat. It's all about the relationships. Look out for those quality people around you. Start meeting them. Start connecting with them. Pay attention. Let your mind be fixed on the income. Yes, the prices of goods and services are going up. As much as possible, don't be so focused on that. Be focused on the income. How can you grow your income? How can you increase your confidence during those things that you find scary and challenging? And then finally, bringing more meaning into your hours. That's how we have that rich career that God wants for you and God wants for me. Awesome stuff, right? Thank you so much. I enjoyed this. Yeah, if you have any questions, just feel free to type them right there in the comments. I will answer them very, very quickly. Always remember that you can also check me out on Instagram at Kayode Kolade. If you have any questions about your career, about your business, you need help with something, perhaps about your career and your business, I'm here for you every step of the way to make sure that you have that rich and that fulfilling career that you desire. I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you, Alif. for sending all your kind comments. Thank you so much, Alif. Thank you, Rahila, too, for being here every time. I appreciate you so much, Rahila. You are the best. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here with me today. It's the weekend, so I'll just say enjoy your weekend. Have a great time with your family, and look out for all the new content coming out on my channel. During the weekend on Sunday. New long form video coming out here. Newsletter also coming out here. Please share this thing with somebody. Oh yes, Exigo finishing school. I didn't know you were here. It's great to have you here. Thank you. You're welcome, Exigo. You're welcome. Please make sure that you share this video with somebody, and they will be so grateful to you. I know, just like we said, so many things are happening in the world right now, as it has to do with people's jobs and people's careers. So share this with somebody. I'm sure it will benefit them in some way, and they will be so grateful to you that you did. Thank you. I will talk to you very soon. Enjoy your weekend. Have a blessed week, a blessed weekend, and a blessed week ahead. Your greatness is very sure.